Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. This video is all about the Brinyte PT28 Oathkeeper that I have right here. And basically very much like my PT18 review video, I've put everything back into the box. So this is kind of like a pseudo unboxing, and I'm letting you guys know that because I've been carrying this thing for the past 1.5 weeks. So yeah, I just put everything back into the box to the best of my ability so that I could reenact and take you guys through the unboxing experience. Before we progress any further, I would like to give Brinyte as well as Kitty of Brinyte a huge shout out for putting this in my hand, sending this my way. Another thing I want to mention is that while I put everything back into the box to try to reenact the unboxing experience, there was a certain difference that I made in particular, and that is that I removed this little piece of film that was blocking the battery in order for me to try to showcase to you a feature that I wasn't able to do so for the PT18 Oathkeeper, and that is the feature that I would like to call the tritium lantern feature. So once I unbox this thing, hopefully you'll be able to see it. Now, here we go. Right off the bat, it looks like the design choices of the Oathkeeper family are all in the same kind of series, the same motifs are applied. So we have a predominantly blue front cover here with a picture of the PT28 Oathkeeper. You've got the biggest callout feature, max output 1600 lumens, and then you have the model name here. On the side, you have some callout features. This is the front side switch with the built-in power coordinator, a magnetic charging port, available in two colors, and this color right here is the Desert Tan color. I mentioned this before, guys, but I feel that it is relatively easier to visualize or imagine a product that is predominantly in black in color. But for Desert Tan, usually the particular color of Desert Tan varies between different organizations, different companies, and maybe even different products within the same company. And that's why I chose to go with Desert Tan. And on the back of the box, you have a short write-up, some call-out product features, as well as some technical parameters that we will be talking about as we progress through this video, so I won't be wasting time here. On the other side of the box are some other call-out features as well. These are interesting things that you can take note of. The bottom of the box is like this, and on the top, it is just basically a slide sleeve. Now that I've unsleeved it, it is a very simple, sleek and elegant looking box, predominantly in black in color, with the Brinyte logo very elegantly applied in the top left corner, and on the back of the box is some other details about the company. But now let's lift off the lid to really get into the unboxing experience. And you're first greeted with this gift card. Yes guys, this thing contains a BR tactical ring, and underneath that we have the user manual with this really cool lanyard as well, very much like in the PT18 Oathkeeper. And in the PT18 Pro video, I gave Brinyte a shout out for the way they actually did the user manual in terms of the functions of the light. Unfortunately for the PT28, the operation instructions are just a bunch of words. Don't worry guys, I got you all, explain everything in a bit. Now next we have the light itself, and I don't know if you guys can see that it's a really faint green glow. That's the reason why I chose to leave this piece of film out of the battery compartment. So yeah, let me just pull this out. And we have the flashlight right here. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'm really hoping, because like I mentioned before, it is a really faint green light, and it's meant to mimic what a tritium lantern does, so that you can easily find and identify where the flashlight is even in pitch darkness. And on the right half of the box is the accessories compartment, and you lift it open via this flap and you'll be greeted with a few more cool stuff. First of all is the charging cable. So this is a USB-A to a magnetic charging port, and just to show you guys that it is magnetic, there we go. Sticks on right there. I don't even have to take this out. But yeah guys, this is already fully charged, but you get the gist of it, right? So this just goes aside here. And then we have the BR tactical ring right here. A really cool sheath. And I mean really cool. A lanyard. And this is also the same lanyard that is included in the PT18 Pro. But yeah, you could basically use this metal clasp here and clip it onto any of the attachment points on your flashlight. You have some extra O-rings because this thing is waterproof, rated at IP68. And the last thing here is an actual woven Velcro patch, guys. It's a Brinyte woven Velcro patch. How cool is that? And what's even cooler is that this here is the soft style 3M hook side Velcro backing. That's a really nice touch. This is definitely going onto my patch wall for sure. So let me just put some of this stuff back in. I mean, you guys don't really need me to explain the use of a lanyard and the charging cable, right? So that's quite straightforward. I'm just going to put all this aside, and I'm going to shift the box out of the frame so that we have more real estate. I present to you guys the PT28 Oathkeeper. Now before we go into details of the features that I want to call out on this and my thoughts on this product, let's go for a quick fire round of the features and the technical parameters of the PT28. Here we go. It features a magnetic charging system. It has an intelligent power indicator design. A regulated power supply maintains constant brightness. It has overcharge, over discharge, and overheat protection. It is compatible with one single 18650 battery or two CR123A batteries. It features reverse polarity protection that prevents damage from improper battery installation. The chassis is made of aircraft-grade high-strength aluminum AL6061T6, and the finishing is a premium Type 3 military hard anodized anti-abrasive finish, and it's got an aluminum alloy reflector with a professional optical analysis, and that also houses an imported Cree LED. Now for some tech parameters, the maximum output of this is 1600 lumens, and the maximum runtime on this sorry guys, I'm laughing because this is just so crazy. The maximum runtime on this is 5880 minutes, which is about 98 hours guys. 98 hours of runtime for a flashlight. My god. The beam distance is about 245 meters, and I mentioned this earlier, but it's worth to mention again. This is waterproof rated at IP68, and I'm gonna put the dimensions of the flashlight right here. And last but not least, this is weighing in at 110 grams excluding the battery. Okay, all the features and specs out of the way, let's talk about the build. The build quality, of course, is solid guys. Right at the very top we have the tail switch, and I'm gonna call this the main switch as well, and it is a rubberized switch. Then you have two raised areas, and these can also double up as lanyard slots. And all of this is basically part of the tail cap, and right at the very top of the tail cap you'll see an O-ring, and this O-ring is used basically to help kind of hold your BR tactical ring in place. Now there is a marking here, and that's used for the BR tactical ring that I'll be putting on shortly. But around the tail cap you have some knurling. It's a really nice knurling pattern, and this gives you grip whenever you want to unscrew or screw on the tail cap. Now let's unscrew this thing and pop it off, and we can check out what's inside here. This is the battery compartment, and like I showed you guys just now, this houses the Brinyte branded IMR 18650 battery, and you have the battery compartment right here, simple and straightforward. And at the bottom of the threads you have an O-ring, and that is what gives you the seal to keep this watertight or waterproof. Now let's put on the BR tactical ring because I like it with the BR tactical ring. The arrow marking here denotes a deeper groove right down the middle, and this groove is going to line up with either side of the ring, so you could either have it this way or 180 degrees around this way. It's entirely up to you. For me personally, I like to line up the arrow with where the ring actually is, so that's what I'm gonna do, just like that. Then pop the entire assembly back on. Now that we've screwed it on tight, you can actually see the O-ring giving it some friction and holding this whole BR ring in place. Moving down, we have the pocket clip. Now you could swivel this pocket clip around, and at the tip of the pocket clip you have another lanyard slot, but this pocket clip is also removable, and I don't really use this with the pocket clip, so all you gotta do is just pop it right off there. Simple and straightforward. Moving further down, we have this motif again, this 3 striped or 3 mark motif. I still don't know if this motif has any particular significance, whether it has anything to do with the name Oathkeeper, but it's there, it's cool, and it gives a pretty good grip. And going further down, we have the side switch. This I'm going to call the secondary switch because when it is turned off, pressing the switch does nothing. So that's why I'm calling it the secondary switch. Now going around the side of that, you actually have the Brinyte logo as well as the website laser etch there. And going around even more, you have the magnetic charging port. And when we reach the full circle around, you have the model number, the PT28 Oathkeeper, also laser etched on this side. And I also want to point out that just above, or in this orientation is just below, is the serial number as well as the sample marking, because this one was sent to me by Brinyte. And last but not least is the crown or the light source area, and this also has some really cool knurling patterns as well as some extra striped kind of motif up here. I'm not calling this a crown, I'm calling the whole thing a crown because this is a single solid piece. Now just for a quick comparison, I'm going to bring in the bigger brother, the PT18 Pro Oathkeeper, and the reason why I'm bringing this in is because I wanted to compare the differences between the desert tan color, and visibly, to me at least, the tan color on the PT18 Pro is a little bit darker, just like darker by one shade compared to the PT28, and this still looks a little bit leaning more towards the olive green spectrum. This is a bit more brown if I were to kind of describe it in that way. So this is a little bit more brown, this is a little bit more green, so this is slightly darker. And the interesting thing here is that even though the BR tactical rings here are identical, they are different in color because they match the respective flashlight's color perfectly. So let me just, for fun, right, make a swap between these two BR tactical rings just so we could spot if it actually does make any difference, if it looks like it's a different shade altogether. Let's give it a go. I've never done this before, so yeah, let's experience this together. This should go here, and this should go here. And yeah, very interesting. They honestly look okay. Well, I see it very slightly. I see it very slightly when I interchange it left and right. On the PT28, the PT18 Pro BR tactical ring looks like it's the same exact shade, but on the PT18 Pro, the PT28 BR tactical ring looks a little bit lighter than the rest of the body on the PT18 Pro. Interesting. Let's swap it back. Since I have the PT18 Pro here, I'm gonna just call out one cool feature about the PT28 that the PT18 Pro does not have. Now, you notice on the PT18 Pro there is a removable tactical ring here, and this tactical ring I mentioned helps you to kind of balance the light so that it won't roll around, right? But it is not present here on the PT28, and the reason why is because the PT28 does not need it. Now, the flat area here on the side switch as well as on the magnetic port allows you to lay the PT28 on its side without having fear of it rolling away. That's a really cool feature that I wanted to point out. Now let's talk about lights and light modes. The main way that you're going to turn this flashlight on is through the main switch on the back, or the tail switch. Now you could give it a half press for momentary turn on, and when you let go it just turns off. So very simple and straightforward. And if you click it, then you have it toggled on instead of just a momentary on. And in order for you to turn it off, click it back off. So it's really simple and straightforward. You could also access the next mode, which is the strobe light mode, and you could do that basically in two ways. Either you give it 2 half clicks, so I should say 1.5 half clicks. Does it even make sense? So what I mean is basically half click and then half click it again, or half click and then full click it, and then full click it to turn it off. Is my explanation making any sense to you guys? I'm sorry guys, I'm not really articulating myself very well, but you get the gist, right? So it's all just a half depress or a full click and variations of that. Either you do this, or you get what I mean? Yep. Sorry guys, I'm not doing a very good job. I don't know how to explain like a half depress and then let go and then half depress again. Like you get what I mean. Sorry guys, sorry, I'm doing my best here. And the light output that you guys have been seeing so far is the turbo mode. That is 1600 lumens. That is the brightest that this light has to offer. And you're probably wondering at this point, how then do we change the different light modes? And that is where the secondary switch comes into play. Now when you have the light turned on, then you can start using the secondary switch, and when you tap it once, you cycle through the next light mode. So this here is the low light mode setting. This is at 10 lumens. One more and it goes up to the next light mode setting, which is the medium light mode, and this is at 60 lumens. Tapping it again brings it up to the high light mode setting at 360 lumens, and then finally going back to the turbo mode at 1600 lumens. So just tap it to cycle. Simple and straightforward. And when you want to turn it off, you have to turn this off. Let me first set it to the high mode setting. Now, there is a memory, which is quite straightforward, right? You turn it off when it was in the high mode setting, so when you turn it on again, it goes back into the high mode setting. So for illustration purposes, let me just go into the low mode setting, turn it off, and when you turn it on, it goes back into the low mode setting. When you have it in the medium light mode setting, turn it off, and you turn it on again, it goes back into the medium light mode setting. I think that's rather straightforward. Now let me just put this in the high mode. Now, if you want to immediately get into the low mode upon turning this on, all you gotta do is just depress and hold the side switch, then turn it on, and it will automatically go into the low light mode setting. Okay, next. Now, when you have it turned on, let me just set this to the medium light mode setting so it's easier to see down here. You can access the strobe light with the secondary switch by just simply double tapping it. Now when you're in the strobe light mode, you can access the SOS mode by simply double tapping on the side switch again, and you'll get into the SOS mode. Which should be quite simple and straightforward for you guys to understand. And then just click the tail switch to turn it off. Now speaking of the SOS mode, there is another way to access the SOS mode, and that is by first turning on the strobe light mode using the tail switch, and then double tapping on the side switch, and you have now accessed the SOS mode. So guys, those are basically all the functions and all the different light modes of the PT28 Oathkeeper. And the last thing that I want to show you guys is how to turn on or turn off this tritium lantern feature. You have to first turn the light on via the tail switch, and then when it's turned on, you want to press and hold the side switch for 10 seconds and you will see this light blink. I hope I'm not blocking it from your view. Let's just try in a way that I won't block your view. Hopefully this can be caught on camera. I'm going to depress it right now. Hold it for 10 seconds and you'll see the light blink. That basically means that I have now turned off that tritium lantern mode. So once I turn it off, nothing will happen after 10 seconds. This will not turn on and have that faint glow. Okay guys, so now that we know all about the light and all the features, all the different light modes, I would like to talk to you guys about the ergonomics. And I'll start by talking about the ergonomics of this grip. This ergonomics here, this grip here is great. This is really comfortable. In fact, it is more comfortable than here on the PT18 Pro, and I mainly attribute that to the overall weight of the flashlight. This is much lighter and much less front heavy as compared to the PT18 Pro. Now, it is not my intention to make this a comparison video, but I just wanted to call that out because I really enjoyed this ergonomics here. But after holding this, I was like, yeah, okay, well, that is quite front heavy. This feels a lot more comfortable in hand, and this feels like I could really hold this for a long time without feeling fatigued at all. Overall, it's a really good size and I really like it with the ring. However, I need to mention that I'm talking to you guys only specifically about holding the light in this particular grip. This light doesn't work well in this grip because there's no point. There's no point. I mean, okay, well, there is a point. If you want to first turn it on like that and then start holding the flashlight in this grip and then changing the modes with your thumb in this grip, that's entirely up to you. But for me, it's like, how should I say it? The first thing that I want to do when I grab the light is to hold it in a position where I know I could turn it on. And this is the position, not in this position, because I don't think I want to be actuating the tail switch with my other hand. So for one hand operation, it's going to be in this grip, and then you turn it on by actuating the tail switch with your thumb in this particular grip. So that's why I really enjoy this grip, and I'm not talking much about this grip at all. Of course, I mean, you could hold the light in this grip, but even if the light is turned on, you won't be able to turn it off until you actuate the tail switch. So yeah, this, in my opinion, is the primary grip and should be held in this way, which is also another reason why I like the BR Tactical Ring, because I could hold it here and I could have it slack like that without any worries or any fears that this might slip out of my hand. This, to me, is the way to go. And that is my opinion, guys. That is my opinion. Next, since we're talking about the side switch, I don't understand why I can't turn it on by using a side switch no matter what I try. Not even a triple click, not even quadruple clicks or multiple clicks. It's just, yeah, it's just the way the light is made. To me, that's a downside, but it could be because it's a security reason or whatsoever. You have to turn it on and off only via the tail switch, which in my opinion is quite a shame. I'm sure that that's a reason why Brinyte has chosen to do this. I just don't see that reason why. Like for example, in the PT18 Pro, I could still turn it on by using the side switch. Oh wait, I've got it locked. Remember what I told you guys about this thing being locked? Triple click to unlock it first, and then now you could turn it on. So I could hold it in this grip, right, like that. Or I could hold it in this grip and turn it on with the side switch. So that really is a feature in the PT18 Pro that I wish was here in the PT28, but it's not. Next, going back to this grip, accessing the side switch is a little bit strange when I have the flashlight in this particular grip, unless I am not using the BR Tactical Ring. And the reason why is because with this ring, you either have the switch here in this orientation or it's going to be down here. You pick your poison. Which way do you want it to be? So, you know, I mean, the reason why I'm saying this is because we could easily flip the orientation of this ring. Let me just show you guys what I mean. Now that I've screwed it back on the other way, you'll see what I mean. When I hold it in this grip with the ring, now this time the magnetic charging port is facing this way and we have the side switch on the flip side. So do you want to have to hold it in this grip and then depress on the side switch with your index finger, or have it on this side and then depress the side switch with your thumb? It's entirely up to you. This could be completely mitigated if you don't use the BR Tactical Ring at all. Let me just show it to you guys. So now that I've got the Tactical Ring removed, I could hold it down here or up here, way high up, and that's fine. Actuate the tail switch and then I have easy access to the side switch. Or I could just do this and then use the side switch. and then flip it around again and turn it off. So having the tactical ring on has its pros and cons. Now, I personally like to hold the light in this way, and so that is why I have a preference to add the tactical ring to the setup, but it really depends on your use case scenario. Now I'm going to put the tactical ring back on just so I can illustrate to you another gripe. Well, kind of like a gripe, right? Let me show you what I mean. So here we go, I've got the tactical ring back on, and in this particular grip now, like that, every time that I want to actuate the tail switch, I have to make sure that I hold the light in such a way that these two raised areas won't get in the way of my thumb trying to press on the tail switch. Now if I had it in, say for example, this way, like that, say for example the ring was here, then it's gonna be quite difficult for me to depress this. You see what I mean? It's gonna take some finger gymnastics for me to make sure that my thumb hits exactly the tail switch right there. But if I held it in this position, for example, then it's gonna be a lot easier. It's just the way I torque my fingers, and it takes a little bit of getting used to. So while I did mention the word gripe, it's not really a gripe. It's just something that will take some getting used to. Of course, again, this is not going to be a problem if you are not using the tactical ring. But like I said, I like it, so I'm using it in this way. I'm just sharing with you guys some of the experiences that I went through over the course of the past week, right? So in this way, difficult. I can't even really open it up because it then gets too far. All I gotta do is just make sure that the ring is seated right on top here, and then torque the flashlight a little bit this way so that I could easily access the tail switch and enjoy this grip. Okay guys, now I'm looking at this. Oh my goodness guys, I feel so dumb because yeah, I just looked at this and now I realized what these markings are. I mean, I didn't make the connection earlier guys. I'm sorry, I'm so dumb. It is this area of the Brinyte logo. Guys, see, when I saw the logo this way, you know, it's not as stretched out as this here. So yeah, but now that makes complete sense. I always thought it was something to do with the word Oathkeeper, you know. Okay, well, you guys can make fun of me in the comments. Just go ahead and call me dumb. I'm sorry guys. Right, enough of that, moving on. So I hope that this section so far about my experience with this is understandable, because I don't know if I'm making this coherent enough for you guys. Like what I went through was some of the things that I had to adjust, and these were just experiences. They could be negatives, they could be positives, they could also be things that I just needed to get myself used to. So yeah, I wanted to point it out. There were some really cool things and there were some things that really irked me, but yeah, I just wanted to share it all. So yeah, I hope that this came across to you guys clearly and I didn't make you guys more confused than anything else. Next, let us talk about the very cool sheath or holster for the Brinyte PT28 Oathkeeper. Now, I view this holster as an even better holster than the holster that came with the PT18 Pro. I say again, I'm not trying to make a comparison video here, but let me just bring this guy back in, because I mentioned to you guys that the holster and the PT18 Pro are like a package. They go together like a hand in glove because they complement each other perfectly, right? But I did point out some minor flaws that this holster had, and that's the reason why I mentioned about this holster, because this has almost no flaws. First of all, look at this guys. There's stitching around the opening slots. There is stitching guys that prevents frays. Look at this. Look at, I've been using this guys. So yeah, it's starting to fray now. But look, this thing has stitches here. How cool is that? Okay, the next thing, yeah, this unfortunately isn't an improvement. That squeaky sound is still present, but not as squeaky as this. This one here is just way squeakier and it's a lot looser compared to this. See that guys? Yeah, it's still got some give, a little bit of wobble, but not as loose as this guy over here. Baseline, it's still squeaky, but it's a slight improvement over the other clip. This clip also has the extra hook at the bottom, which prevents the holster from accidentally slipping off your belt. It also has an extra stretchable slot on the side, but this is only present on one side, it's not on the other. And the size of this slot is quite good. It allows you to put in, for example, a smaller sized pocket knife, just like that. There we go. Nice and easy. And of course, it features a Velcro closure, and you've got that roomy compartment, but the exposed rivet is still present. However, because the PT28 Oathkeeper is uniform in size almost all the way across, this rarely snags onto that exposed rivet, and you can just push it in all the way like that. And you've got this small recess area here that allows for the BR tactical clip, and all you got to do is just stretch this over, close it down, and the two exposed areas give you access to the switch, and as well as allows for the light to shine through from the bottom of the holster. Combined with the swivel, hook it on the belt, and you can go completely hands-free. awesome feature. And I thought, what the heck, might as well just mention it to you guys as well. With the BR tactical ring installed onto the light in the holster, the tactical ring is going to give you super quick access to the flashlight in the right grip, ready to go, just like that. How cool is that, guys? So yeah, guys, basically that is it. I've gone through everything that I wanted to share about the Brinyte PT28 Oathkeeper, the use case scenarios, the combination of that flashlight with the holster, the quick access, the hands-free mode. I showed you guys the waterproof capabilities of the flashlight as well. It's time for me to show you guys some nighttime action. As we draw closer to the end of the video, I'd like to let you guys know that if you are interested in checking out the Brinyte PT28 Oathkeeper, the link will be in the description box down below. I am a proud Brinyte affiliate and I have a discount coupon code, so make sure that you use the coupon code AVGSGN to enjoy 10% off your purchases. Now let's move into the size comparison with some common everyday items. Okay, first of all, we have an average sized lighter and we have a Victorinox Classic SD. Yep, this is the Desert Warrior edition, guys. Desert Warrior. Next is the Civivi Elementum, and I've chosen to use the Elementum because it is possibly the most popular, aka the most common folding pocket knife in the market. And of course, last but not least, gotta show some love to the classic Stubby, guys. So there we go, size comparison. Now, just for fun, let me put in the PT18 Pro, so you can see how much bigger this big brother is compared to the PT28. Alright, we are down to one final detail that I would like to share about the PT28 Pro Oathkeeper with you guys, and I think that this is also that one detail that you guys are always most interested in, and that is the price point. The PT28 Oathkeeper is retailing at $122 for everything that you've seen. All this, except this pocket knife here. I'm sorry guys, I forgot about this pocket knife. The PT28 Oathkeeper that comes with a battery, the BR tactical ring, this awesome holster, removable pocket clip, user manual with a pretty cool lanyard attached. Not sure why I'm mentioning this, but the BR tactical ring gift card as well, paracord lanyard strap, USB magnetic charging cable, this super cool Brinyte woven velcro patch, and last but not least, of course, we can't forget the fact that this is available in both black and Desert Tan colorways. All of this for $122. In my opinion, pretty solid bang for your buck. But please don't buy this at $122 US. Get that 10% discount, guys, by using my coupon code AVGSGN, short form for the average Singaporean, upon checkout to get yourself that 10% discount. And also, it lets Brinyte know that I sent you, and because I am an affiliate, I also enjoy a little bit of kickback at no extra cost to you guys. In fact, it's not even at no extra cost, guys. It's like you win and I win. So yeah, thank you Brinyte for sending this my way and putting this in my hands. Thank you also for allowing me full creative control and sharing my honest opinions and thoughts on this product, allowing me that 1 week period of time to spend with the item and really experience it, so that I could share that with everyone who is watching this video. And of course, thank you to you guys for your time and watching this video. Links to the PT28 Oathkeeper as well as the Brinyte Webstore will be in the description box down below, so make sure you check those out. And that is it everyone, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking all the way throughout and sharing in this slice of my life. I hope that you found it informative, I hope that you found it enjoyable. If you liked the video, I hope that you will consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, hello there. If you're not subscribed, I hope that you will consider subscribing. But if I did not earn your sub today, that is okay. I will continue working on the quality of my content, and hopefully one day I will earn that sub. Another great way to support the channel is over on Patreon. I'll put a link up here to that in case you want to check it out. We have Patreon exclusive content as well as Patreon exclusive giveaways from time to time. So if you become a patron of mine, thank you so much in advance. It really means a lot to me. And once again everyone, this video was all about the PT28 Oathkeeper. A big thank you to Brinyte as well as Kitty of Brinyte for letting me check this out. And I will catch all of you in the next slice. Bye.